Good morning, folks. This is Ted Whidden with the BiblePlumline.com, SolomonSeries.com. We're discussing the celestial phenomenon of the Bible this morning. It was a burden for me this morning because I keep hearing and reading about the fantasy and mythology that's taught in old commentaries and by old seminary-taught spooky mystics. And they teach things such as the sun reversing itself, stopping. These are, because these are divine sovereign acts of God that He can override the powers of the universe and all of this. God is the power of the universe. He doesn't have to override anything He's ever done. If He has to change something, move something for you, then you're probably not on His plan, and He's probably not on your plan. What you have to understand, the plan of God is unfolding every day. If you're in it or not is not His concern. It should be your concern. What I'm saying, the plan of God for your life will unfold whether you're there or not. The prophetic and prophecy has been badly mistaught by many. People think it's a powerful utterance or it's a stroke of genius or nothing. No, what it is faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the Word of God. The prophetic and the prophecy, all they're doing is learning how to hear better. There are prophets that speak boldly and all of this, and sometimes they're just blowing off. They're just making a lot of noise. But true prophecy is about hearing God. And then following through. He may have you do something physically, orally, or whatever. But here's the funny thing. In Joshua, before Joshua goes into the Battle of Ai, he says that, demonstrates to his people, he says, I'm your man of God. Moses is no longer here. I'm your man of God. God's going to fight our battle for us. You'll see today. It says they go into the Battle of Ai. And God, during the battle, God stayed the sun in the sky and kept the moon aloft until the battle was won. And He rained rocks from heaven. And there were more rocks, people killed by the rocks from heaven that were smote with the sword. Again, I demonstrate for you in Genesis, before it said God would put the stars in the sky so we would know the times and the seasons. And there are events within the Bible, events throughout the Bible, are given that are connected to a celestial phenomenon. Unfortunately, the stories and concepts of what happened during these events of the Bible were fabricated by people during the medieval period and before. In the medieval period, they didn't know the earth was round and that it was spinning. There were a lot of things they did not know, and there's a lot of things that people teaching today, they don't know, that we don't know everything. The book of Daniel says that in the end, the knowledge will increase. If knowledge is to increase, it means we don't have it. It's coming, and this is how it's coming to you. Now, in the Battle of Ai, it says that God stayed the sun in the sky. That means He stopped it. And kept the moon aloft until the battle was won. And rained rocks from heaven. More people were killed from the rocks of heaven than was smote with the sword. But here's the funny thing. What we often hear from mystics is that God stops the sun and allows the battle to be fought out. Basically, there's the longest day of the year, the longest day of history. If someone's telling you about the longest day of history, they are out of touch with the Word of God, they're out of touch with the Spirit of God, and they're teaching heresy. I'm telling you that now. Watch everything they say, because they're teaching mystic, spooky stuff. Because, as we've stated before, the earth is spinning at a very, very, very incredible pace. If anything happened, if the earth stopped spinning, because we know the sun is way out there, since the sun is so far out there, in order for the sun to appear to stop, that means the sun either has to accelerate from where it is, millions of miles away, take off to stay ahead of us, which it would disintegrate underneath the speed and the acceleration, and then it would have to accelerate and then stop. Well, it didn't happen. It would disintegrate from it. And in order for an abnormal daylight period to occur in that way, as it's taught traditionally, then the earth would have to stop spinning and then start again. Well, if the earth stopped spinning for 12 to 24 hours, the backside would freeze, and we would have a whole series of cataclysmic events that would just be disastrous. Plus, since we're spinning at such an incredible rate, if the earth stopped spinning, God wouldn't, one, have to override his original plan, saying his original plan was not good enough. And that's what your preachers are telling you. Or, if this earth stopped spinning, we would be propelled out into space. Here's the funny thing. What the Bible really says is that God stayed the sun in the sky and kept the moon aloft until the battle was won. Now stop and think about this. The moon is kept aloft. The moon is aloft. Staying the sun is like a stay on a boat. You tie it off, you stop it. You stop the sun. You can stop the sun here, here, here. Stopping the sun. Stayed the sun in the sky, but kept the moon aloft. Oh no. By focusing on this spooky sun phenomenon, we miss the simple moon phenomenon. All it is a lunar eclipse. Yes, that's good, isn't it? All it is a lunar eclipse. That's my goat. All it is a lunar eclipse. See, what spooky mystics have failed to understand, since they don't understand history, they don't understand biblical history and biblical fighting. In the Middle East, people fought battles in the morning. What you would do is mobilize your troops at night, arrive at daylight, and catch the enemy as they're waking up. I submit to you, that's one reason why the Muslim nations pray before and after sunrise, before and after sunset. The plan is if you mobilize all your men before sunrise to towers throughout the region, everyone, the army is amassed, they can pray, and then they can convey a signal. If in order to attack a Muslim city 600 years ago, 800 years ago, you would come in under the cover of darkness in the morning and attack it in the morning. And if all the men, just before daylight, were all amassed at different mosques with towers, bell towers, they could signal, everything's okay over here.